Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, JT, what's up? Good job,
Oh,
buddy.
my man with the shot. That's what I'm talking about. I saw the thing was wet. It was nice. Nice release, bro.
Thanks.
Let's rock and roll this.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. All right, we'll mute it.
Yeah, you got it, man.
All right, so Colleen, if you could just mute, and then if you guys have any questions, obviously feel free to chime in as we go along here. So, cooking session number 9. We're going to be doing a mango froyo tonight, just to have a little treat while we talk about what we're going to do. So we're going to do really quickly 1 cup of Greek yogurt to 2 cups of frozen yogurt, okay? And then we're going to blend that in our mixer, right? So let me get a spoon. And then we're going to talk nutrition tonight as well. So we have a nice little treat since summer's coming up. We don't want to pack on too many of those ice cream calories, right?
Hey, bro, I didn't get any of the.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't even sweat it. Christian, this is just
I
for
will
those
enjoy it.
that. Yeah, but you will. Here's the deal. You know, I love ice cream. I love ice cream so much. I love ice cream so much. But guess what? I like to feel good and sleep good and train hard. And sometimes ice cream isn't the most beneficial for that. I'm not saying you can't work it in, but you know, during summertime, it's nice. You want to have a nice, refreshing dessert. Well, this is a protein pack. Now, Will adds vanilla protein powder to this to make it broyo. So kudos to him for upgrading this recipe.
Hey, Christian. Amir, sorry.
Mary. Yes.
Frozen. We're supposed to just have regular yogurt and frozen fruit, right? Not frozen yogurt.
Yes, sir. Nope. Frozen fruit and regular yogurt. So this is regular 5% Greek yogurt. And I've got 2 cups of frozen mango I'm going to use. You guys need some park attending? These blinkers on? One cup. Oops. Guys, in 3 minutes, you're gonna have yourself one of the best frozen yogurts you're gonna ever have. And you know what's cool is this probably costs $3 for like a huge tub. Versus like $4. why it's so quick. I just added this as a quick extra 3 to 5 minute. Hold on, let me show you. Let's do this. Let's mix it in a little. Hold on, let me get a spoon. See it better. That is good. And that's it. You could do that with frozen strawberries, frozen cherries, pineapples, whatever. Really good. So now that we've covered that, I'm going to put this in a container and we're going to talk nutrition. Yeah. So what is Buff on a Budget, right? The goal of Buff on a Budget is be able to take your nutrition and fitness goals and align them with the things you love to eat, like ice cream. So what we want to do over this next year is teach you not just what to eat, but why to eat it, and then most importantly, how to make it. Because we want this, like we said, long term. So long term, it has to be successful, something we can live with. So if it's keto, great. If it's paleo, great. If it's low carb, great. But whatever is going to work for you, not just for your body composition, but for your overall health. And that's where we're going to start with, like, the biofeedback forms. Why are the biofeedback forms so important is because they are a marker for what's actually happening with what we're doing. It's like if you were to lift weights. If you aren't getting stronger, then you should probably look at another source or something's wrong, right? Because if you're lifting weights, all of a sudden you should be getting stronger. But if you're not, well, what is it? Sleep? Is it my diet? Am I not doing enough weight? There, you have to assess. Well, it's the same thing with fat loss or body composition change, right? If you're not seeing change in the way you look or right or feel, right? That's going back to that. Ooh, now you guys can really see the consistency of that. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's right, Kate. There you go, Kate. I love it. I love it. Everyone's having froyo.
Dump it on the keyboard like Brandon does.
There you go. See? And you can, what's cool is that's like actually breakfast, right? That's fruit with Greek yogurt. You could add some fresh coconut flakes or fresh berries on top of that. And that's almost like an acai bowl, but it's a mango bowl, right? So do you see how you can take that dessert and make it a breakfast as well? So super cool that you guys have learned how to make that, because definitely a Buff on a Budget favorite. So what we want to do is we want to take our body, figure out what it needs. Well, because we're Buff on a Budget, we want lean muscle. That's the first thing we need. So the first thing we're going to focus on is our protein intake. So write that down. This is like, hey, this is on the test. Protein intake. How much protein are we getting in? So just so you guys get an understanding, an average serving of protein is usually around 4 ounces. 4 ounces is going to be anywhere between 20 to 30 grams of protein, depending on the source of protein. being it chicken breast, steak, fish, turkey. Eggs is actually lower, but they do have a lot of nutrients, which is why people say eggs are so good for working out and building muscle. But learning, okay, this is what I'm so, and this is where, in regards to the other session, right now, I need you to just figure out how much protein are you bringing in. So don't change your diet right away, guys. Let's assess where we're at. Let's say, okay, right now I'm eating 3 meals a day. Take those 3 meals and take whatever protein you're going to have and weigh it and see how much protein you're having and then track that just to see where you're at. Like Will says, your AM. Where are you at in the Mall of America with your protein intake? And then from there, we want to take that and we want to build up to 1 gram of protein per pound of muscle, of lean muscle. So what your goal body weight is the amount of grams in protein should be. So for me, it's 225 grams plus of protein. Because if I bring in extra calories, I don't mind that they're protein calories, right? Because I'm looking to build muscle. So that's where we're all gonna start. We're gonna see where the hell we're at. And then we're gonna know, okay, I'm at, for myself, let's say 160 grams of protein a day. I need to get to 225. Well, to close that gap right away, I can take 3 scoops of protein at night before bed, and there's 60 grams of protein, and my body will process the majority of that protein because I'm in rest and recovery. So I'm not active. So if I take, for example, a scoop of protein powder before my workout, I'm not getting 25 grams of protein because my body's in activity. So it's processing some of that. So let's say 17 out of 25 grams of protein you're getting, if it's a good source of protein. Same thing if we eat chicken or steak, right? All these things, and we'll get deeper into the rabbit hole, right? So like Katie, right? Katie wants to build muscle, but Katie is lean. She doesn't want to start packing on any extra weight. And I'm sorry if I'm using you as an example, if that's okay. But she does want to build extra weight, right? She wants to give the appearance that she's not adding extra weight, but she's going to add extra weight. Is that all? Do we all understand where we're at on that? So scientifically, she's going to add weight, increase muscle. Physically, she's going to look the same because we're still going to, so let's say Katie wants steak. Instead of having 6 ounces of a ribeye, she'll have 10 ounces of filet mignon because she can have more filet mignon because it's a leaner cut of steak, which will allow her to have more protein, more calories, but it's still leaner than, let's say, a fatty ribeye, and she's still getting that craving of steak. So that's obviously down the road from now, right? Or let's say slow cooking a piece of meat and making a stew. That's also a great way for her to bring in a lot of protein and calories, right? Because it's broken down, her body will be able to digest it quickly. She won't have any gut issues because she's not bringing in all this protein right? Versus, let's say, Brandon, who can normally put down a 16-ounce steak, no problem, right? So first, we have to learn what our body can handle. And if we start jumping to our protein goal, but we're nowhere near that goal, we're going to start to build fat. We're going to be an excess amount of calories because our bodies can't digest that, right? So where am I at? Where do I need to be? How do I slowly build that up? So ideally, guys, if you're building up calories or protein, calories, we don't want to build more than 300 to 500 calories total per week. So let's say right now I'm eating 2,200 calories and I need to get to 3,500 calories. That's going to take me 6 weeks, 7 weeks to build up to that. So that way and what we're going to talk about is our maintenance calories. And so we talked about that in the last meeting, is right now, the majority of us are looking to learn what our maintenance calories are and what our maintenance protein is, right? What is it that you're able to intake, yet still build muscle and not gain an extra weight as far as excess body fat? So how we're going to do that, like I said, is slowly working towards that progression of figuring out what our calories are. And our calories, and we're going to talk about this, is based on, hey, what's my day like? Am I training hard that day? And do I need those extra calories? Or am I in a rest day? He's sleeping. Or am I in a rest day? And now I can chill out on my calories. I don't have to bring in as many carbohydrates, right? So for example, I'll use Brandon in this case, since he filled out some food logs. It's like, hey, something that Brandon can incorporate right away is some healthy fats, whether it be in his peanut butter in the morning with his protein, or adding a drizzle of olive oil on top of his meat, right? So that way he can add a little bit extra flavor. And that's where like learning how to make those infused oils that we talked about is so important, is because now you can add into your salad, Katie, a citrus oil to add in 250 extra calories that you need, and is now actually going to help you with more energy wise, because that fat is going to give you energy on the back end of your day when you need it, right? Because it's a slow digesting energy, right? So we talked about carbs versus fats as being our sources of energy, right? We're not going to really get into that today because our focus right now is what's our protein? How do we get to where we need to get to? What's our calories? How do we need to get to where we get to? And that will get us to our maintenance calories, because then we can learn, okay, I have to be, let's say on a training day with Will, plus 300 on my calories. Let's say Jason is in fight week and he's got a lot of downtime where he's sitting in the hotel room. Well, then he needs to figure out meals that are lower calorie, but are going to give him sustainable energy. So that way he's not constantly running to the fridge and grabbing a snack, or going in a direction where he doesn't want to be going. It's not working towards his goals. Because in the end, that's what this is all about, guys. It's like we got to figure out a way how we can match the things we love with what we want, with our with what we want to be, with our be. So that's why this is so important, right? That's why it's like you gotta watch the cooking sessions and learn how to cut and make salads and make a good steak and make a good chicken, because like I used the movement as an example, as a reference in the other one. Give me 1 second, I'll get to your question. Right? Chicken, right? Chicken versus a squat. A squat, you could do body weight. You could do with a TRX. You could do with a kettlebell. You could do it single leg. You could do it, pistol squat. So the same thing has to be with chicken, with steak, with tomatoes, with mango froyo, can be now made into multiple things that you enjoy, because, and not just enjoy, but need. So like, I bet Katie doesn't get a significant amount of healthy fat in her breakfast, but now she just found a really easy and creative way to do that. And, she could add some mixed nuts, or, a protein shake along with that, or put that into your protein shake, because the yogurt has some protein, but not a lot of protein. And that's where like Will's Broyo comes into play. So you can do that same recipe, just add a scoop of vanilla protein, and then you're going into that. So yes, question, Dr. Jason Parks.
So one of my questions, was, what is? Oh, sorry, getting a call. Is what would be the consequences of like undereating, for instance? Like how does that affect you metabolically? Because I think right now for myself, usually I eat just like once a day. At the end of a long day, I'm trying to figure out how to better package meals so I can go on the road. But one of the things of finding out my am is like, what am I doing to myself? Like by eating one big meal, or sometimes a smaller meal, but once a day, and definitely not enough protein.
So 1 meal a day is possible, because intermittent fasting, a lot of people who intermittent fast eat 1 meal a day, but that meal needs to be, a porterhouse steak, or 16 ounces of chicken, along with, but obviously, again, that's something that you work up to. And, people, you could say that you're purging yourself, but if you do it correctly, then you're not purging yourself, you're bringing in energy, because all food is a source of energy, right? So carbohydrates and fats are the things that help provide what moves us, carbs being the things that help us move in real time, and fats being the things that help us move in longevity wise, like sustainable energy. Right. And that doesn't mean that if you're fatter, you'll live longer. Okay. It just means that your body will process the fat after it's done using all its immediate carbohydrate, all its glycogen source. Right. So we're here to build muscle. Well, to do that, first of all, you need sleep, right? You need water. But most importantly, well, not most importantly, but when it comes to nutrition, right? Because that's what we're here talking about. Most important nutrition wise, it's protein. Because you're not going to build lean muscle, just not, without lean protein or a source of protein, right? Now, that's why like ribeye is great, because now it has a healthy source of fat as well, right? So that's why like ribeye versus maybe a lean cut of meat. And again, it depends on your goals. So let's say, Jason, you're out at a restaurant and you haven't eaten all day, the best, or that tomorrow you have a crazy day and you may not get to eat. Have, a steak and a side of avocado, or steak, and drizzle that steak with oil, So that way that oil is then translated into sustainable energy. Does that answer your question?
Well, I guess one thing that the answer was, you said like, oh, if it's the end of the day, like that's where like a porterhouse steak or healthy serving of meat with fats would be important. But like, if we're trying to hit a protein goal of a day, and right now that's what we're assessing, right? Is like how much protein are we actually taking per day? And if it's like max in a meal, you could eat 50 or 60, but if a target goal is like, near body weight or some percentage of our body weight, 40 to 50 grams is so low, right, compared to what my on paper needs would be. How does that affect me metabolically?
Okay, well, so obviously you're not giving yourself enough of what you need, but here's where the beauty of life is. This is not a one-day thing. This is a lifelong thing. And so then tomorrow you have another chance. And then the day after that, you have another chance. And that's where your M is that day is low in protein and low in calories. And so you better know that the next day, you're probably going to be a little bit slow on the start, and therefore plan a good breakfast, right? It's like, I'll use myself as an example, like something that I always used anytime my stomach hurt or I had a really shitty like binge. I would eat oatmeal, overnight oats, like right away. Like oatmeal's good gut bacteria, good fiber, like really just helps settle your stomach. So just know that it's like what we're doing is not a crash diet. And that's where I kind of didn't talk about it, and I want to. Most people, what they're doing already is, and I kind of touched on it, but I want to go, is they're going into cut mode or bulk mode versus like habit. I hate that fucking word. Habit changing, but more important, not habit changing. What was the word we used the other night? Behavior. Because that's what we're doing. We're changing our behavior with food. We're changing our relationship with alcohol. We're changing our relationship with steak. Because guess what? I fucking love steak. Sometimes my relationship with it is I put a piece of foie gras on it and it's like, I forget about all nutrition. And sometimes it's like, okay, I'm looking to build muscle. It's like, this is what this steak is for. Sometimes it has a purpose and sometimes it does, or excuse me, sometimes its purpose is to serve my ice cream muscles, my cravings, right? And that's what, again, like the mango froyo. Why is it so fucking great? Because this can satisfy a craving, but it can also fulfill a gap in your nutrition. So it works both ways. That's the beauty of this, is like you're constantly evolving yourself based on the recipes you learn and the days you have, because then you'll be like, shit, man, fuck, I don't want to have another day like that. I'm gonna boil some eggs or make some egg muffins. A lot of people said they were, wanted some breakfast stuff. So next Friday, obviously, we're gonna do Will's birthday, but after that, I'm gonna do an egg, like egg breakfast, or we'll do a frittata or something like that to show you guys how to make things on the go. And Jason, it's a process. It's gonna be like, okay, fuck, just like a sparring match, right? Brian did something, now you go, you address it, and hopefully in the fight it doesn't happen. So same thing, like, if let's say Brandon has a shitty day, eating wise, like hopefully it just doesn't happen on a day that he needs to have that energy, right? And that's where this is all about, is learning along the way. Okay, you know, fuck, I eat a shit ton of fucking ice cream. I need something like the mango froyo in my life. Or you don't eat a lot of ice cream and you don't need the mango froyo. Or you need steak in your life because all you do is eat chicken and fish, and it's so hard for you to get to your protein goals because of that. Right? So that's what this is all about, is like learning, hey, I need this, I don't need this. This does, and that's again going back to the biofeedback form. That's why this is so important. Because I can tell you right now, like, I fucked up big time today. I was hungry. We were going to my sister's to go get lunch. And I was like, you know what? I want a chicken sandwich. And I went to KFC and I got a chicken sandwich. And like 90 minutes before this, I felt like shit. So I drank some water, I did some breathing, took some Pepto-Bismol, and now I feel fine. But hey, guess what I'm never gonna fucking have again? KFC, because I don't eat that shit. You know when I eat that shit? When you guys influence me to eat that shit. And it's not shit, it's delicious. It was delicious and I enjoyed it, but I was hungry and I probably ate it too fast. And so I got you in 2 seconds, Christian. But that's where it's like, hey, I want you guys to learn. Like, this is all about learning and reporting to yourself and to me, obviously, because then I can give you advice. Yes, Christian, let me ask you a question.
So yeah, the KFC is delicious. It's delicious shit.
Yes.
But so you were saying, so for me, if I'm like 240 right now, so then I'm looking at 240 240 grams of protein.
What is your goal weight, not your current weight?
Oh yeah, okay, the goal, okay. All right. And you said like the overnight oats in the morning is it's good.
Oh yeah, it's bomb. We can do that also.
So I do these. I know you cook stuff, you know what I mean?
I don't cook it. I just leave it
I
in the fridge.
mean you, yeah.
But
I
that's where
get
Buff on
these.
a Budget comes in, though. But that's where Buff on a Budget comes in, because that costs you, I don't know how much, as opposed to a thing of oatmeal. A whole huge thing costs me $4 or $5, and I have oatmeal for months.
Right.
Jason, yeah. Is that good? Christian?
Yeah. So I'll look forward to learning that, because I mean we buy these like a lot, because Kate and I have these in the morning because they're quick for us to throw in the microwave, and then I have like 3 eggs with it, hard boiled eggs. So that's like my breakfast.
We will definitely get a breakfast in there. Jason Park, Did I answer your question, or you have another question? You're good. Okay. So guys, is everyone clear on where we're at, like, and what the focus is right now? Right? Actionable step, figure out your protein. Then from there, work towards your protein goal. Actionable step number 2, figure out your calories. Then from there, work towards your caloric goal. And it's going to fluctuate based on training days. How busy is your schedule? So on a day that you have very little to do, your body weight multiplied by 12, or your goal body weight multiplied by 12, that's going to get you to your goal calories for a quiet day. But like super crazy hectic day, like 16 hours nonstop, boom, multiply your body weight by 20. And that's crazy. And I know it's like, wow, I can't do that, but you're going to learn how to. That's the point about this. That's what I was telling the other group. After we're done, in a year from now, you guys will all be able to create meal plans, be nutrition coaches, because we're going to go so into how this works that not only are you going to be able to see the results, but you're going to be able to know how you got to those results and be able to either teach other people how to do that. Or if you ever fall off track, know what the fuck to do. Right? And that's what this is all about, is like, how can we take this, and whether we want to build more muscle, lose more fat, or just change our body composition, how do we do that? Because losing fat, that's the easiest part. That's just calorie deficit and suffering through caloric deficit in the way you feel when you're low in calories, right, Jason? Versus building muscle. Building muscle takes a lot, because you got to just like you got to build the muscles with weights, you have to gradually build your stomach up to handle eating that much protein and digesting that much protein and digesting that much carbs, and what carbs can it digest, or proteins it can digest at the quantities that you're eating it at, because we don't want anyone getting sick or fat throughout this process. We want everyone hitting their goals. Anyone have any questions? Christian, yes. What's up?
So that's 190 grams of protein. So on a chill day, that'd be 2,280 calories. And on a crazy day, that's 3,800 calories.
Yeah, sounds right.
Damn.
This is delicious.
Okay. So like the question like Jason had, right? I've gotten a lot better in micro shifts and getting the protein in, right? But sometimes I'll have like a crazy day and I get nowhere near 3,800, like not even close. So what are the ramifications of the compound effect of days like that on muscle development and all that stuff? And overall, just performance, right?
So here's the beautiful thing for you, Christian. You have extra calories to support you those problems. Your body's got the extra calories to support that. Does that make sense? Christian, you have to think about it like this. We're not like doing bulking phase and cutting phase. We're bulking and cutting at the same time. So on a day where you don't hit your protein and calorie goal, what's going to happen? Your body's going to do what? It's going to cut.
Right.
So you'll burn some extra fat on that day.
But I mean, years of doing that, right? Like it's not healthy to be under eating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's why we're gonna build up to where you're at, homie. Where you need to be at. It doesn't. Okay. Is it? Do we need to do reverse dieting? The scale is gonna tell us, because if you all of a sudden start adding in all these calories and the scale's going up, guess what? That means your process is going to be a lot longer than somebody else's.
I'm only asking you because when Jason asked you metabolically what it does to you, right? You didn't really answer the question as far as metabolically what it does to you. So that's why I'm asking you.
Yes.
Because I also have the same situation as him. So metabolically, what is that doing to you?
It depends. Yes, metabolically, it's going to slow down your metabolism. So therefore, you can't. So let's say your body mass, let's say you weigh 225 pounds. You technically should be burning 2,400 calories, no problem, on a daily basis. Maybe you can only burn 1,700 calories. Because you've been eating so low, so your body can only take in that amount. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yes.
So I don't know, because everybody's different. So it may have completely fucked up your metabolism, or it may not have. Generally, it fucks up your metabolism when you yo-yo diet a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But if you if you were in a low calorie count for a while, it just means that your body has a hard time bringing in energy. So that may take you a little bit longer, or it may not. Your body may be like, oh shit, look at all this. Hooray, party time. And you
Okay.
may just go game city.
Okay.
Sorry
Roger
about that, Jason Park, that I didn't answer that question. Are we more clear on that now, guys?
Yes.
Cody, question, brother.
Cody had a question.
Yeah.
It was more that I just wanted to say sorry for being a little bit late. I was finishing a phone call that ran over. I look forward to catching up on that conversation, but jumping in, this is really good stuff. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem. Does anyone have any other questions, guys, as far as where we need to be? Because here's the deal. This isn't the end of the conversation. This is the beginning of the conversation. What we need now is to continue the conversation in the group by posting your meals, by tagging me. And I can tell you directly, guys, like Brandon tagged me multiple times. The only reason why I saw it is because his feed, his thing was at the top of my feed. I did not see his tags. So I saw a couple people here and there. So if I don't see your tag me again, message me, call me, text me, whatever. Yes, Christian.
Just a quick suggestion for that. Like maybe you should make a Buff on a Budget like journal feed, and then everyone can put it in there and then just date it and all that stuff. Because then that way you're only going to one feed and you can find everyone's stuff in one place.
I'd rather keep, you know what? Maybe we can do that. That's a good idea. Dr. Jason Park, yes. What's up?
Just brushing my hair. Nothing from me.
Oh, your hand was up.
That's a good idea. As long as it doesn't get too complicated for you to see so many different people in one thread.
Yeah,
So I'm
I'll
okay with
tell you
that.
what. I'll tell you why I like each person on their thread, because then let's say the comment goes directly to them.
Oh, you can, yes.
Versus maybe now all of a sudden the comments like 4 or 5 comments down, and it gets confusing as to what I answered. And
all right.
I don't mind
So
going
forget
into
that.
people's thread. I rather go into each person's thread to be a TBH.
All right. Cool.
Any questions? How do you
I
like
have
the
one question.
froyo, guys? Oh,
Froyo
sorry,
is
yes.
amazing. My quick question is, would you rather us send you pictures or send pictures on our thread, or like I had just started right before we started this session last time, like doing this little profile food log? Would you rather see something like that, or would you rather pictures, or would you rather both? Like, I don't care.
It's whatever's easier for you. Because here's the deal.
Okay.
I know what 6 ounces are in. Do I know exactly? No, but I can more or less tell you, okay, you don't have enough protein here. You don't have enough this or that. You know, I could tell if you drizzled olive oil on the plate or not. So whatever, writing it down obviously gives me more detail. And again, if you're going to write it, guys, tell me how it felt. Like, Brandon, how good did that meal not just taste, but did it do for you post-workout, right? As far as energy, and probably didn't feel like too, like, right? It was like, ooh, just the right amount. So that's what I want to be able to give you guys. It's not just good recipes and nutrition, but so it matches with, so Brandon can have a fucking stack of pancakes and 3 eggs after his training session. What were you going to say, brother?
Yeah. So the biofeedback form, that's filled out one time per week or every day?
No, once a week.
Okay. So it should be like Friday or Saturday, whatever day we pick.
I honestly couldn't give a shit. Colleen sent one already, for example, because here's the deal. You send 2 a week. The more conversation we have about the issue, the easier it's going to be to address it. Not address it, close the gap, because there's going to be times where you're going to need more protein, less protein, this, that. But if there's no, like I said, like the biofeedback forms are for you guys more than anything. Yes, I will be able to give you feedback on it as well, because that's what I'm here for, to coach you through that. But you'll be like, oh shit, this happened and this happened. And then the more of those you fill out, and then with the food, you'd be like, oh, I felt so good. Like at first, like stupid me, I was like, oh, why the fuck do I feel like shit? I barely ate anything today. And then Tanya's like, yo, stupid, you ate fucking KFC. Like, you don't eat that shit. You know, so it's like,
Okay, that's it for me.
anybody else?
I'm gonna be that idiot to ask, showing up late, how do I make the froyo? Because I got the peaches and I got yogurt, and I'm really
Okay.
excited.
So 2 cups of frozen fruit, 1 cup of yogurt, and blend it for maybe 3 minutes at the most. And you'll get like this beautiful, I mean, this is like so perfect. Oh, man, it's like so
I'm excited.
good.
Hell yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. That's what the viewers want, is to see me putting froyo in my mouth. All right,
I
guys.
feel like I need to pay you money.
Oh yeah. Venmo and PayPal is accepted. No more questions, guys. Friday night, we're gonna fucking rock it. Gnocchi and fresh pasta, your choice, with fresh made Parmesan Reggiano Alfredo sauce. So it's Parmesan Reggiano. Yes, question.
The pasta, if we don't have a pasta maker, what do we need for that?
I put it there, but you need for every egg, you need 100 grams of flour. So let's say 4 eggs would be roughly 2.5 cups of flour. I'm going to use 00 flour. You could use all-purpose flour, works just fine, and a little bit of olive oil, and that's it. And a rolling pin.
A rolling pin. Okay, so I wasn't clear on my question. To actually physically make the pasta, not the ingredients, what we needed to.
If you have a pasta maker, great, but just a rolling pin.
Just a rolling pin. Okay, thank you.
Anything else, guys? We're good. Have a great night, guys. Share your froyo. Take pictures of your froyo multiple times, because guess what? It's fucking delicious. So like mango and strawberry and cherry, and make all the flavors. And when you have people over, you can tell them this is a buff on a budget recipe, and it's so easy. Anyone can do it, just like all the other ones.
Hey Amir, just to spread the word, I actually talked to Austin today. I'm going to teach him and his partner how to make the Israeli style salad that you showed me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you.
look forward to seeing those feedback forms.
Good job, disarming the predator.
Yeah, bro. Oh my God, I was so excited. I had to text you. I'm like,
That's awesome.
It was nuts. It was nuts. We're children. We're children. All right, have a great night, guys.
Later, man. Thank you.